मी चेक एज वेल कि हम लाइव हो गए हैं या एक मिनट. Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the another episode of Digital Baithak. और लास्ट मल्टीपल एपिसोड्स में हम लोगों ने एआई स्टार्टअप और बिजनेसेस और तमाम तर चीज़ों के बारे में बात की. एआई के ऊपर हमारी डिस्कशन बहुत ज़्यादा हुई. बट एआई जो है वो डेफिनेटली इट्स ऑन ट्रेंडिंग. बट एआई के वजह सारा काम जो है वो हमारा डेटा का है. तो आज जो है वो हमने जो है वो स्पेसिफिकली बात इसी टॉपिक पे करनी की है, डेटा और आज इसकी क्या वर्थ है. एंड आई थिंक कासिम इज़ वन ऑफ द गाय हु इज़ अ हैंड्स ऑन इन द फील्ड एज वेल. ही इज़ working with a different client locally, internationally, consulting lots of firms as well. So over to you, Kasim. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Kasim, the very first thing, before talking about the technical stuff or traditional discussion, let me tell you about your story, how you can get into the field of IT, specifically in the field of data engineering.
Okay, it's a long story, but I will give you a very short and precise answer on this. I'm from forces background where one if your father is in forces, then you would I will also be in the same field. Okay, so
Yeah.
मैंने भी इसी तरह से start किया था और मैंने अपने इंटर के बाद आई अप्लाइड फॉर कमीशन कोर्सेज और वहाँ पर मैं नॉट रिकमेंड हो गया था. एंड आफ्टर दैट आई वाज क्लूलेस कि मैं कौन सी फील्ड स्टार्ट करूँ. देन माय फ्रेंड्स नियर टू मी सजेस्टेड कि कासिम कंप्यूटर रिलेटेड फील्ड्स में स्टार्ट कर लो. देन आई जस्ट स्टार्टेड माय यूनिवर्सिटी विद दैट फील्ड लाइक कंप्यूटर रिलेटेड फील्ड. और वो उससे पहले भी मैंने बीबीए में एडमिशन लिया था बट आई ड्रॉप्ड आउट बीबीए के भाई नहीं मैं बीबीए नहीं कर सकता, बीबीए मेरे लिए नहीं बना. देन आई स्टार्टेड कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग एंड कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग जो है वो अप्रोक्सीमेटली मैंने इंटर के बाद 1.5 साल ज़ाया करने के बाद स्टार्ट की थी. और जब मैंने कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग स्टार्ट किया तो फिर मुझे यह था कि भाई अब इसके अंदर भी बहुत सारी फील्ड्स हैं, आपको कोई एक फील्ड स्टार्ट करनी है. तो उन दिनों में नया नया जो है ना प्रेसिडेंशियल इनिशिएटिव स्टार्ट हुआ था, PIIC स्टार्ट हुआ था. एंड आई अप्लाइड ओवर देयर बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली कोविड की वजह से वो चीज़ ड्रॉप ऑफ हो गई थी, काफ़ी सारे प्रॉब्लम्स आए थे. और
Yeah.
फिर हम सैलानी ने बेस स्टार्ट किया था. सैलानी का जो बेस 2 था डेटा साइंस एंड AI का, तो मैंने वहाँ से करियर अपना स्टार्ट किया था. सर कासिम पढ़ा रहे थे, वो सीनियर सर कासिम है, तो उनसे मैंने पढ़ा था. एंड सर नासिर से मैंने पढ़ा है. एंड साथ साथ मैंने यूनिवर्सिटी कंप्लीट किया बट जब मैं यूनिवर्सिटी के छठे सेमेस्टर में था, 7वें सेमेस्टर के आसपास था, आई वाज एम्प्लॉयड एज अ जूनियर मशीन लर्निंग इंजीनियर. मैंने अपना जो करियर स्टार्ट किया था AI की फील्ड में, डेटा की फील्ड में एज अ जूनियर मशीन लर्निंग इंजीनियर काम किया था. एंड फिर मैंने वहाँ पर थोड़ी सी प्रोग्रेस दिखाई थी तो दे promoted me to world machine learning engineer, not junior anymore. Then I switched to one of the field one of my mentors suggested कि कासिम डेटा की फील्ड्स के अंदर मशीन लर्निंग इज अ पार्ट, बट उससे पहले जो फर्स्ट पार्ट है अपना डेटा लाइफ साइकिल के अंदर, उसके अंदर जो है वो पहला स्टेप जो है वो डेटा लाना कैसे है. तो
Data.
वो जो डोमेन है डेटा लेके आना उसको कहते हैं डेटा इंजीनियरिंग. तो देन आई स्टार्टेड डिगिंग डीप इन डेटा इंजीनियरिंग. तो दैट्स वेयर द डेटा इंजीनियरिंग फील्ड कम्स इन एंड I'm now a senior data engineer.
Still you are in the field of data engineering. Yeah, even though it feels like it was a very long story, but how you demonstrate yourself, because what I felt like when you go into the field of IT, you felt like you are very junior. And what about your office culture? Is there is there same guy of your age in the same office also working on the firm, or you are the only guy? Because I was experiencing when I was got my first job. I was on that time I was like 18 to 19 years old, and around like most of the like employees are like they are mostly graduate, and they are even having like 10 to 12 years of experience. And what your like perspective, like how you experiencing that particular stuff, like you are the younger one in your team or your company.
Uh, there are three stages of this thing, I will say. First company after like my first company where I started working is It was a Pakistani company, and if you know, like after 6 semester, you need to do an internship. It was a requirement for this part. So I did internship as a machine learning engineer. So whenever I was there, so things were quite not good since it was a Pakistani company, first and last Pakistani company which I had worked with. So the culture was not too much good. So
Exactly,
then
exactly.
in between, I just left that part, like, hey, I can't work in this environment. It was not too good. So then I started searching for remote jobs and remote based job, abroad based job, where I can work from home. So that's where the second phase started. I got job from Omdina. Omdina is nothing but a New York based company, and here the culture was quite good. I was the one who was like quite junior over there, and I had a lot of seniors to work with. So over there, the problem was like, hey, they need to process the imagery based data which is being captured by Google Imagery. So I was the person who was supposed to do the data annotation part. Right, in data annotation
Oh,
means labeling part. So
labeling all the
yes.
stuff.
So when I was doing the labeling, then I got to know, like, hey, the other team which is doing the core ML and deep learning part, they are using the model called RNN, and
In an RNA.
through RNN and the back convolutional models, they are trying to process those images and as well as the data that we have, text data that we will be having. So they were getting the accuracy of, let's suppose, I still remember 79 point something. So Sir Qasim was teaching data deep learning to us these days, and book was like deep learning with Python by Francois Charlotte. So I asked Sir Qasim, like, hey, how can I contribute with the other team? So he said, like, if they are using images based, then read chapter number 5. If they are using text based data, then LSTM and RNN, read that part of the book. So I read that part and implemented that part. That's where they promoted me, like, hey, you are doing a really good work, from data annotator to machine learning engineer. And then from there, I started working with another company, which was like Royal Cyber. And then right now I'm in
Royal
TradeWeb.
Cyber, yeah. I think in Royal Cyber, you're working with uh, from the data perspective, you're working with lots of big agencies as well. But I thought I was somewhat like a bedrock. I think there was an agency who was finance. I think you're working on more than in the finance side and the stock market, right? In Royal
Yes.
Cyber, you just share your experience on Royal Cyber, because we mostly discuss about your stuff specifically on what Royal Cyber is doing, and what different clients they have. So yeah.
Okay, Royal Cyber is a US based company, but they have some offices in Pakistan as well. And if you talk about the demographics, they are in 14 plus different countries at the moment, and they have, let's suppose, 100 plus clients in only digital transformation, which is like AI related products. So they have a
Oh,
lot of projects other than other fields. I'm not considering the other fields as well, like Salesforce, web development. I'm not talking about those. So in that, we have been working on different cloud providers as well. If you talk about GCP, Azure, and Azure and AWS, we are all working on this. But majorly, I got a chance to work with tools like, initially I was been working with Azure. I was like certified in Azure, like not Azure, you can say Databricks specifically. I am 2x certified on that part as well. And one of the client was Niagara. Over there, we were using Azure and Databricks to solve the problem. And then I had a chance to work with one more client, like which was like AI based client. So I worked with that part. I would not like to tell the name of that client, but I worked in retail sector over there. And then after that, I started working with TradeWeb, and TradeWeb is a fully fintech based company. And from last two
fintech.
plus year, I'm working in fintech based. So my most experience is in fintechs, and also my products are also been in fintech as well.
That's perfect. That's perfect. And Kasim, let's start about from the audience perspective. Whenever we listen about like data engineering, data science, it was a far like a very difficult domain as compared to uh, rest of the domain, like graphic designing and web development in these type of, because most of the students who want to enter in the field of IT, they have these type of domain. Like if you they want to take some entry points, they're starting with the web development and these type of. How you just differentiate yourself from not going towards those like the software engineering side, other than going towards the data and machine learning or AI side. So what's your thought process and mindset over there when you come to in the field of IT?
Okay, I was very much influenced by the two words artificial intelligence.
There's the same scenario.
That's what I knew when I
Yeah.
started this field. So I didn't knew about
Yeah.
anything. I thought like a web development is somewhat boring. I didn't even tried that, but I was just
Oh,
influenced by the word artificial intelligence. So I started something like, hey, this can be something good. But then later on, I explored web development as well, cyber security, and then bit of graphic designing part as well. But I didn't invested most of my time. Like, let's suppose I explored those fields for two weeks or 3 weeks, and then I switched back to artificial intelligence because
it's
that
all
was my
about
core
like
area.
flavor. It's all about like a flavor. You don't like taste the flavor,
Yes,
and you won't
yes,
like the flavor of web development because
yes,
when you selected to explore yourself in the field of AI, then I think none of the guy who will switch their career from AI to web development, because it's already a very long journey to learn, lots of to explore. So yeah, that is the
yes.
thing. So
The thing is that
Qasim,
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
in this field is sorry to interrupt. The thing that I
yeah,
like
yeah,
in
it's
this
okay.
field is like uh, research a lot. You have to research a lot
Exactly,
how you will gonna
exactly,
how do you gonna tackle this problem, and then every time when you will have a problem, there is a new scenario and new way out. This is not repetitive work. So
exactly, exactly,
that's what
exactly.
the focal point or interest point of this field. So that's what I like in this field.
Even the when I will even share my perspective as well. Even we got any project, we even don't think like the first project would be the similar one of the second one. Even after AI, we thought like, okay, after AI all the LLM models have the data, so why you have to work and collect those data set. We will start discussion on that perspective as well. But I will share my idea like, okay, after AI, still you have to work on a certain problem. They have to work on a data side as well. So again, there's a question like after LLM models, specifically like OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, Anthropic, what the dynamics of data engineering got changed, it got revolutionized. How you see the changes, era of changes after AI, after agentic and generative AI, and before agentic and generative AI?
Okay, there is a lot of changes that were being happened because of the AI. Because AI influenced almost every sector. Okay, to be very honest, I will not deny from this part.
Yeah,
If I give you one perspective earlier, if we suppose, let's suppose I have one Jira in which I have to customizedly design a new pipeline. So normally earlier I was taking, let's suppose, 1 week for that, but with the help of AI, it is reduced into 3 hours or 4 hour work. This is how the
oh,
massive
perfect.
transformation happens. So now I don't do anything. What I do is like being an architect, a focal person of that field. What I do is like I have my cloud code set up. I have my in my cloud code I have created like manager and three persons, three junior resources.
Three
They are
junior
working
resources.
for me, and those junior resources I have provided them the access of Jira, GitLab, AWS, Snowflake, all the services that we guys are using. So I have
Yeah, even
provided given them the access, and they are working fine for me. Whenever I get a task, I ask Cloud Code like, "Hey, can you please go to my Jira and take this Jira number and start working on it?" And I have given them prerequisites like, "Hey, you need to create branch and start working on that. Once you are ready, then give me the MR number." तो मैं वो एमआर नंबर
yeah.
पे जाकर रिव्यू करता हूँ कि इसने क्या काम किया, सही किया तो ठीक है, नहीं किया तो मैं बोलता हूँ ये गलतियां ये ठीक करो, then go ahead further.
Perfect. It's all about like even after MCP servers concept, the work got shrink. I think it's like when most even last of some our last guest, most of them are saying the same word. After AI, I don't have to do anything. It's a good perspective, or it's a like what I personally think is like a dangerous perspective as well, because there is a huge audience still working as a employee side, but And again, it's the shortest word, the shortest sentence would be like, after AI, it will be the what will be the changes in the job market after AI, because we see in bigger organization, like last time Microsoft has been just set out around like 1,500 of their software engineers, and after they just implement automations and lots of stuff. So what you thinking from your perspective, like how a junior will be come into the market, or it will be got after AI, it is got difficult for the juniors to get in the field of IT, get a handsome job or working with a good company. So what's your perspective on that?
That's what we are targeting in Salani's new batch as well. Like recently, we have revamped all the courses in Salani. So the motive was that, like, hey, earlier the main focus was on core skills, right?
Core skills,
Uh,
exactly.
Now the focus is not on core skills. Now the focus is on how you deliver that project. The delivery
Exactly.
point is focused. The business point is main being focused. All the coding, everything is being done by Claude. You focus on the business point, like, hey, is the requirement that was being given to me is fulfilling or not. अगर आपको बोला किसी ABC API से डेटा लेके आना है और इस प्रोसेस के थ्रू आपके प्रोसेस करके आपको इस वेयर हाउस में देना है, आपका टारगेट ये होगा कि वेयर हाउस में डेटा आएगा, ठीक है, दिस इज योर एंड गोल, और इसके ये पैरामीटर्स होने चाहिए। तो आपको कोड नहीं लिखना, आपको एंड गोल के ऊपर टारगेट करना है, और यही जो चीज है अब हमें जूनियर्स को सिखानी पड़ेगी कि आपको जो है ना वो कोडिंग आनी चाहिए, डिबगिंग इतनी आनी चाहिए कि आपको डिबग कर सको कोड को। इसके अलावा जो पहले हम बात करते थे डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स आना चाहिए, उसके बाद डीएस आपके पास एल्गोरिथम तो आपके अच्छे होने चाहिए, एनालिटिकल काफी स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए, आपको कोड बिल्ड करना, वो चीजें अब डिसमैनेज होती जा रही हैं। इवन तो जो बिग टेक कंपनीज हैं वो भी अब ये नहीं चाहती कि भाई हमारे पास जो है ना बड़े अच्छे कोडर्स हैं, वो ये चाहती हैं कि हमारे पास अच्छे एनालिटिकल थिंकिंग वाले बंदे आए जिन जो एक उस क्लाउड कोड को इस्तेमाल करते हुए प्रॉब्लम को कम टाइम में अचीव करके दिखाएं। दैट्स व्हाट द मार्केट इज नाउ। तो अब जो
It's all
बंदा
about
आएगा
like,
उनकी,
it's all about like a problem solving skills आपके अंदर develop. You have to develop the problem solving skills other than
यस,
focusing on like how the code is work and the fundamentals this and that. Because
यस,
what I'm thinking, like exactly, yeah, because AI is doing all of the coding. I think there is no better software engineer rather than like Cloud Code, or Copilot and all of the rest of the models. So yeah, that is a perspective that we even thinking. Even though again, I think one of the problem, not just one of the problems, multiple problem in our curriculum as well. Most of the students who are currently doing their bachelors and in the field of in the field of computer science, rest of the things, over there still in different scenarios. The teacher is not allowing them to use the AI. They use AI detectors, and rather than until you have to write the code. Is that a good concept according to your point of view? Like why they don't use AI if they got achievement of building a 7 day product in a 1 day or 2 day? So what's your perspective, Qasim?
I will say what I have experienced from the last like 5+ years in this tech industry, things and changes, movements come very late in Pakistan. Okay, so
Exactly. Yeah.
that's what the problem is. So if our university teachers and everyone is not allowing us to use, so we should avoid in university, but out of university, use it everywhere you can, because it is the new it is the new paradigm, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
avoid using it in university. University is not something that will gonna give you money and earnings. Okay, you have to
Exactly.
earn in this market. So if your target is earning, so then you have to adopt those tools. If your target is like getting a good GPA or gold medal, then you should focus on university's education. So I will say no one is focusing on a degree. Everyone is focusing on
Exactly.
skills, and everyone is focusing on like they should provide support to their families. So for that purpose, I would highly recommend to use those tools.
So again, you are doing degree from Bahrain University. What you're thinking like for the newcomers who is right now going towards and like thinking to go to the university? Is it good decision in the era of AI or current era of 2026? Is it good decision to go to the university, or Rather than that, they have to focus on the skills, and then once they got hands on, or that they get some then they can switch towards the university side. So what your perspective on that? Like, still, like, they have to follow the same route that the past of
Yeah,
their ancestors.
actually, to be very honest, everything that we do in our life will help us in some way or other way. So I will
Yeah.
say education is good. Do it from, let's suppose, if you are targeting to do bachelor's, instead of doing, let's suppose, in a very high competitive environment, do it from there where you can get the degree very easily. Or if you want to go in a very competitive environment, do it from a university where the education curriculum is really good. Don't do it from like don't do it from a university where the curriculum is very old and you have to go 5 days in university and spend times over there. If you can go for a virtual, I will highly recommend this part, because go virtual, do degree, and simultaneously build the skills. This is the best combo, I will say. If you have enough money, then I will suggest go for, let's suppose, NUST, IBA. These universities are really good as well. So instead of
Is
going like some big good universities, I'm not gonna tell the name, but avoid going those universities, I would suggest.
like the short will be the, like, you have, if you have a good money, then you have to go to the those universities who's actually in demand, like nurse slums or fast based university. But if you don't have such type of money, then focusing on the skills and go towards like even like again, it's all about like degree versus skill. So again, degree is just a gate pass. Rather than that, is from my perspective, definitely degree is playing a very vital role. If you go and start, you will start your career at anywhere, but once your career got started, you need some upgrade. So degree is playing over there that particular
Yes.
role. Like, if you don't have a degree, then maybe possible less experienced person will got promoted just because of they have a piece of paper. So yeah, that is, even we got multiple cases in when I was working in Pakistani culture based stuff, based university, based software houses. Over there, there's a concept like less of the experienced software engineer, even though come from, let's say, 6 to 8 months, they got promoted to the senior or mid level engineer, having a good salary even. So that is a thing. Again, Kasim, I think we have to talk about some perspective who is the most of the students has faces. Like, how, what would be the roadmap of data engineering in 2026, and how they, like, if they are the junior but they want to field in they want to come in the field of data, or they want to come in the field of data, not specifically data engineering, because they have data analytics and rest of the domains as well. How they come in the field of data side and they want to work, if they want to work in the data, what would be the roadmap from your perspective in 2026?
What we have redesigned the curriculum for Salani. I will tell that roadmap. The very first step over there is like a crash course. Crash course means it should be not more than 4 weeks. Okay. Crash course of Python and SQL, like they are the core building blocks. So you should know like how to write Python, how to things. So crash course is enough. And crash course for SQL is, earlier we were like digging deep in more detail, but from this onward, the new batch will come. We will not gonna dig deep more into the practical coding and development. We will give them
Exactly.
the concept like how the syntax work. We will go ahead, and then right after this part, we have introduced a module called vibe coding as a data engineer. So in
Wow.
that, what we will be doing is like we will introduce all the IDs, all the tools that are there in the market, and how you guys can use those tools to build and use in data engineering processes. Let's suppose how you can use Cloud Code to create different agents for you that will gonna work for you. So this is the second module that we are introducing at the moment. And then in the third module onward, we will introduce different services like Airflow, Kafka, Snowflake, and let's suppose AWS. We will be touching those services on a very high level. Let's suppose earlier what we used to do is like we teach Airflow in a deep manner. What we will be doing is like we will be teaching Airflow with respect to 1 to 2 case studies, how Airflow can be implemented in those case studies, and go toward directly the
It's
implementation
all about
process
like
because
instead of focusing on the project, focusing on problem statement or specifically those tasks who
yes.
actually working on the market side.
Yes. So what we have developed is like earlier we had like let's suppose 12 projects. Now we will be having like 16 projects. Four projects are like AI based project in which we will be teaching like how to set up Cloud Code, how to make this thing possible. So we have introduced four more projects for that part. Now the curriculum which was taking earlier 9 months to complete, it will shrink to let's suppose 6.5 months because of this AI fast pace. We will not gonna dig deep more. We will focus on 8 to 12 end to end projects, and that's how the things will work now.
Perfect, perfect. So that means even for the new audience, they didn't have to focusing on single basis stuff like before AI. We were mostly thinking like if you want to learn Python, you have to focus dedicatedly 6 to 8 months on Python. But right now, still like the Python would be the same, but you have to focusing on the syntax base because you have to understand what the code is be until and unless you have to write in all of the thing. Okay, this is a tuple, this is that, this is this. So we have focusing on the data structure and algorithm like binary number, binary tree, and this and that. I think this is the still there is an era, but depend upon what situation, what working you have decided for yourself. So yeah, again, Qasim, what would be the benefit to being a data engineer in terms of like if we compare you a software engineer or let's say uh, a web designer, web developer, what would be you feel like that is the point? I felt like that is a good uh, choose for me as a data engineer rather than when you see rest of the software engineer from other domains.
Okay, right now the AI era is in AI, right? So I will again
Exactly.
emphasize on this part. Like building end-to-end system is the main thing. So earlier there was a concept of like system design engineer, right? So system design engineer was a person who knows how cache works, how warehousing should be, how modeling should be. So being a data engineer, I know most of the system design works, how to build a
Exactly.
system design under the hood as a backend perspective. So now with the help of AI, what I am doing personally is like I am designing the backend, and similarly, I know the skills of backend, and I ask Lord to build the front end for me as well. So now I am on both sides.
So it's all about like people who are just doing prompting. They know how the code is. They just see the the front end. The front end as well as the back end, and that is the thing.
Yes,
Maybe possible help you out to technicalize the prompt as well because it's all about prompt engineering, right? How you
yes,
write the prompt because AI is knowing everything, but at the end, what you ask from AI, that is the main perspective.
yes, yes.
There's a multiple questions from the audience side as well. Let me pin out one by one. Uh, Thank you, Hamad and Qasim. How are you? Alhamdulillah, we are good. Let us know about the market and why the market job is dead. In KSA Riyadh.
Okay. Uh, Irfan, to be very honest, the market is not dead. The market dynamics are changed. To be very honest, I had last month, I had few of the opportunities from KSA as well to join there as an SSIS engineer. There were no good SSIS engineer who can do that all of ETL pipelines. And HR has been approaching me like twice a week, like, hey, Qasim, can you please join there as well? Package was good, all things were good, but things only was like, hey, I had some family commitments, so I didn't want it to relocate as soon as possible. So if I conclude my story, so job market is there, dynamics are changed. Because of this, you have to make sure you should fulfill or fit in that opportunity with respect to data and AI side both. Let's suppose if you're a software engineer, you should know how to do the software engineering aspect with the help of AI. Now the dynamics are like that. So adopt the AI and improve your working skills and improve your the quality of work. So this will help you a lot in getting the market. And after getting these are skills, you will see like the market is not dead. You will get the job easily.
Perfect, perfect. There's another question. Question Afreen Gul. I wanna ask about ML engineer roadmap, career opportunities also.
Uh, Afreen, machine learning are really good era, but to be very honest, I will say instead of ML engineer, go toward AI engineer. Like ML engineer are very mainly focus on this part, but if you will be like AI engineering roadmap, I will let you know the AI engineering roadmap in which you have to build, you have to use the already existing all the LMs. Let's suppose the cloud, let's suppose ChatGPT 5.4 you are using, Olama you are using, or let's suppose any of the services on cloud that you guys are using, but your main focus will be like how to give the end result. So that's where the more focus is on AI engineering. So I will say go for AI engineering, and roadmap will be like first let yourself familiar with any of the programming languages like Python. Python is really good. You can adopt that, adopt programming as a crash course. Do a crash course if you know already things are good. Then move toward the path like how let's suppose cloud code working, how cursor is working, anti-gravity is working. What is the difference between those tools as a vibe code engineer? Do that part. Once you are good with those, start building projects related to machine learning. Now, if you are talking about AI engineering, I suggested you do AI engineering. But in AI engineering, let's suppose how model deviation works. Let's suppose how LLM deviation works. How you will improve that part being an AI engineer. You should you should know those parts. So I will say focus on the ML ops part, like how AI engineer is focusing on ML ops part, like end to end machine learning. Let's suppose or your model flow, how it is being, let's suppose, skewed on one side, how you can avoid the skewness. So do those parts, build projects on ML ops, and start applying, I will say. And if you talk about the career opportunities are really good and too good, I would say. AI engineering is the next field that everyone is trying to adopt.
Exactly. Even lots of the ML engineer, they just changes their LinkedIn into the AI engineer just because of trend. Because all the the circle will be ended up to the AI. And again, there's a question as well, Qasim. Like everyone has become AI engineer in that era. Most of the people are like they are even working on this as a software engineer. They just change, but how that particular part differentiate to be a good AI engineer or to be a good ML engineer from the audience perspective as well. Like how they become a better AI and ML engineer from what would be the best practices. I said, like, from
Okay.
your perspective.
Let's suppose if someone is a software engineer, okay, and he had adopted Cursor or the tools, he had adopted, let's suppose there is a problem like where he had to parse all those things, and he had used AI based services to parse those things, then that person can say like I'm a software engineer, software and AI engineer. Okay, that person can write in his LinkedIn profile. And it's good because he had solved a problem which was related to that, and he had used AI services in that. Okay. Now, if you talk about specifically AI engineer is a person who can design the production grade system or production grade software.
Exactly.
What the terms production grade is mean? He should know after, let's suppose, 6 months what will be the cost of your whole AI system that you are building. Let's suppose what will be the costing impact, how you can reduce that part, how you can improve that part. AI engineer specialize in that area. So AI engineer
Exactly.
can know more in depth of these things, but software plus AI engineer knows software part, but AI part a little bit more on that side as well.
Exactly. And Qasim is one of the important question, like about like services side. Like if a data engineer want to start their own working rather than working with any firm or organization, what you suggested, because right now you are starting consultation, working with a different business side. So that is a question that most of the people are thinking about, like how they can start their own stuff rather than working with the software house and for as a remote job, how they can start their own journey. So yeah.
Okay. I will say there is one term called uh, go into the shoes of users. So when I started working with TradeWeb, so I had worked with the big tech companies called BlackRock, Bank of Japan, Bank of London. I have worked with those clients. Those clients were TradeWeb clients, but I had worked on the problem statement that they had, so we had solved this problem. Okay. Uh, so while working over there, I got to know there is a lot more that I can learn and do the things. The first thing is like, if the company is a stock related, like, hey, why I'm not investing in stocks? This was the question that comes in my mind.
Exactly.
So when I started exploring those fields, then I got to know this financial analysis is not something a piece of cake. You need to learn a lot of jargons. You need to learn the market dynamics. You need to learn how the market shifts, and when the market is on bearish point, when the market is on lowering point. So you need to learn all those factors. Apart from that, you need to learn the different markets. So in the stocks, we have, let's suppose, simple stocks. We have money market, which are institutional investors. We have, let's suppose, IPO based companies which recently opened their stocks, and how they process, and how to evaluate those parts. These are like financial terms. So I have given a lot of examples, but now let's suppose, being a data engineer, what I can get from this part. So what I did is like, I want to. My problem statement was like, I want to start investing. So for that, to be very honest, from last 2 months, we are working on a product which we are using at the moment for our analysis, our investments, and everything, and we are profitable in that part as well. So we had a problem. We started working on that as a data engineer, and we made a solution for ourselves. It will be public anytime soon in the future as well, for all the audience as well. So
I
that's
think,
how I will
yeah,
say.
even though that is a proper definition of a startup as well, like if you're facing that problem and you thought like that same problem is facing by a huge community and an audience, that is basically your startup. And from a, I think it's like a more like you started with the project and you thought like, okay, that is a major problem for all of the guys or all of the audience in this, in that world, so why not make a public? So it's all about trade
Yes.
web is. Yeah, right. That's amazing. What was your experience at Riyadh? I think you went to the KSA market and you just analyzed some of the things. So, what you thinking about like Pakistani market and the Saudi market? What is the main differentiate? Like as a startup, as a software engineering perspective, especially on your domain, like about the data side as well. So, what would be the difference? What would the plus point? What would be the negative point? If anyone want to start or explore the KSA market, what would be the parameters they have to follow?
Okay. First of all, I will say Middle East is all Middle East, not KSA. All the Middle East, I will include like all the countries in the Middle East. They are adopting this field. So there is an opportunity. Like, if let's suppose, if you think, recently AWS announced they will gonna open some regions over there in Saudi specialized. Let's suppose Microsoft is heavily investing over there. So, and apart from that, Saudi government have 2030 and 2030 plan as well.
Vision
So if
2030, yeah,
it,
exactly.
yes, so if they are focusing over there, it means there is a huge gap or huge opportunity pool that has been existing over there. So that was the motive. I actually went for Umrah, and then after that I stopped there to stay and explore the market. So I had few friends, and they invited me on a visit. Let's suppose in KFD there are multiple companies like Deloitte, and let's suppose Alibaba, and there are a few more companies. Let's suppose Accenture. So my friends invited me, and I was been there like to explore all those things. Then I got to know the concept of uh, incubation centers. So there are incubation centers like Al Garage and all those things. How they actually work, how Al Garage is providing funding to all those people. So that's comes to my mind, and there is a huge opportunity pool. And all the good thing that I heard about there is like, all the Al Garage members, they are actually from US, and they they have built the softwares over there, and Saudi government and brought them up in the Saudi market, and they asked them like, hey, if people comes in, you can ask them, you can provide support them to build the product in Saudi, because this is the next big thing that everyone is targeting. So these kind of things are really good. I will say you can easily get funding over there if you plan and go. Then things will be quite straightforward for you. I'm not gonna give more details on this journey, but I have given you all the glimpse.
So, if again you just ask one thing, like if you want to go, then just go ahead. So, if anyone want to go, what would be the what would be the homework? Like, what would be the step they need to follow? Like, let's say I'm the startup founder. Let's say Internee.pk want to start and explore the Saudi region. So, what would be the homework as a startup they have to do? uh, from your perspective, like, okay, these are the things that is important.
what I have did, I will give you that example. I have prepared myself for two perspective. Number one was like how the job market is in USA, KSA, and second thing is like how the startup culture is in USA. I was focusing on these main two steps. So if you think about the job market is good, they will give you a lot of money, but to be very honest, a person who is living in Pakistan with family is saving a lot than going toward KSA. I have did an analysis, so I was saving less in KSA rather than in Pakistan. So I didn't jump on that rat race like, yeah, I want to go in KSA. Instead I said like, stay here in Pakistan. That was the reason I was been there, and focus on startup side, then startup side scandal. So when I started working on that, then I got to know like, hey, there are incubation centers and there are different conferences that held over there. So right after Ramadan, we will be having leap conferences. Right now, the situation of our whole
Yeah, even
international
we
situation is
had.
not good. So I'm thinking about to stop, not to go this year, but you can go for those conferences like leap conference in Riyadh. They are really good point to get started with the things. And over there, if you can go, you can pitch yourself to one of the Saudi and all those things like, hey, I'm building this thing, I have this product in hand available, how the people can how you guys can get leverage of this, and how we will gonna get leverage of this. So that's where the communication is started, and then the ending is endless. Like, hey, the more you put the efforts, the more the results will be.
So Qasim, I think one of the problem in Pakistani audience is what I was personally thinking is ice breaking. They wouldn't express and demonstrate themselves as a founder. They were like, हम कहते हैं ना कि वो बिक जाते हैं जाके, was feeling less by himself यार, वो it's like they lose their confidence until unless they have to confident be confident about it. If you have a startup, it's like a yes or no case. But in most of the cases they felt like bas uh, अब हो बस दे कर आ जाओ. So what you thinking about like when you go into that market, how there is like there is you find any Pakistani startup working over there, had you experienced that particular stuff, and what you thinking like these are the things that when I started trade web, then I will not be over there when I go to the invested side.
Okay. So I had explored this part with some of the big managers in Riyadh. One of the person is Sumer Bhai. When I was there, I called Sumer Bhai. Sumer Bhai, I'm there in case let's have a meetup. So we had a good Mandi
Sumer,
meeting as well. So
Sumer
over
is
there we
from
just,
Sumer Bhai. I think Sumer Bhai is one who is mostly working on the Google GCP side.
yeah, he's mostly working on GCP side. He had developed the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
whole
met
GCP
him
practice
too.
in Royal Cyber as well. So that's where I know that person. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so I asked Sumer by these things are we are doing these things, and these things are my plans. So what to do the next step? So he suggested me like, hey, go and explore this thing, go and explore that thing. That's how the connection works, right? So they give you pointers, and then you start working on those pointers. So this is how
It's all
I
about
did.
like mentor. It's all about like mentorship is very necessary if you get into the any market rather than like KSA or like when you went to the any other either it's a Europe side. So mentorship is I think one of the part that we have to focusing on as a, we are focusing on
Yes.
job landing job or starting a business any other side. There is another question:
Yes.
is data analytics a good role for Pakistan, and will I find job in Pakistan?
I will say yes is the simplest answer, because if you go and search for data related jobs, let's suppose data engineering, and let's suppose mm, if you're talking about a machine learning engineer, AI engineer, if you go and only search by system limited, let's suppose how much the hiring system limited is doing for this in these particular roles, there are a lot of jobs. The only thing is like people are not preparing themselves a lot. So again, I've emphasized on the things, the communication is more important. If you know the skills, if you can't sell your skills, if you can't sell yourself, then there is then no one will gonna know, and though no one will gonna give you anything, or no one will gonna give you opportunity. The first thing is like get the skills, apply, and then have faith on yourself and communicate really good, then you will gonna get the jobs. Learning skills is like 50%, communication and selling is like the next 50%, I would say.
Exactly. Afrin Gul, they are not taking up how we can take your questions, guys. I think you came very early from your own time. It's okay. I think we got all of the questions uh, whenever we
Yes.
got questions from your side. Specifically for
Yes.
the audience, we already take all of this question. I don't know, Furkan, why you are in hurry. So, okay, Qasim, one of the last question is like, what you thinking? It's maybe the two questions. So, what you thinking to be for the upcomers, what you suggested them if they want to switch the field of data, and who and the second audit will be the who already working in the field of data, but they have some tension in their mind. Okay, like I am working on the AI models. I was creating the model, but the model creation and ML side is maybe possible, like replicate by the AI or LLM side. So what you suggested them to, like, how they focusing, and what would be the roadmap for both of the audience?
I will say go and what you know, what you have, everything. Ask ChatGPT like, hey, I am in this position. I honestly know these things, and I honestly don't know these things. So what ChatGPT will gonna do is that he will create a customized plan, and then there are two things that I will say that are on you: be consistent and be disciplined. If you get a roadmap from ChatGPT, be disciplined and start following it. If you don't buy the courses, ask ChatGPT like, hey, give me the resources which are free of cost and I can learn from those courses. So mostly ChatGPT will gonna give you like YouTube courses and everything. I will not gonna give you the like, hey, learn from this only course. Don't do this thing. I will say like learn openly and research and then start learning and be consistent. If you will be consistent and have a plan that ChatGPT or someone provided to you and stick with it, then you will gonna achieve the goal. Consistency and discipline is the main thing. Nowadays, I won't say like, hey, you can't get a roadmap. You can get a roadmap with a single prompt from ChatGPT.
Exactly. I think that is the point that most of the Pakistani audience specifically is not focusing on. That, like, if they learn one technology, let's say if they are very hands-on in a Snowflake, then they just stuck over there. Okay, like they're not just upgrading themselves. So that is one of the problem that most of the Pakistani audience that have. So yeah,
Yes.
what's your point on that, Qasim? Like, why? What you thinking? Like, why Pakistani is not upgrading themselves, not learning and exploring new things? Because when I was in the software house, in one of in one of the software house, most of the people who was like working on WordPress, even though there was a technology like Next.js, Stack was very fresh technology was right there. But when we tell them, okay, these are the technologies new, but they said like, okay, they are new, but we will be stuck on that technology. So what you thinking about that? Why Pakistani audience is not adapting new things?
So that's just the bad point I would say on a drawback side. You should be open. If you are in tech field, you will always be learning. So don't
Exactly. Yeah.
can't consider yourself like, hey, you are in like a government job and you learn this specific electrical engineering part and you will be applying for the rest of your life. In software
Exactly.
field,
Exactly.
technology changes within days now. So you have to
Exactly.
frequently adopt these things. So be comfortable with the change is the thing that I will suggest. If you can't comfortable with the change, you are not for this software field or software industry. So go find some else job where you learn one thing and apply for the rest of the world or rest of your life. So for specifically this software side, every day you have to learn something new. This is what the motive is. I would again say every day you have to learn one new thing, or every day you have to provide, let's suppose, half hour or 45 minutes for learning. Then only you will be in the market to learn new things.
Okay, perfect, perfect. There's another question. What's about your thought about Munstack development scope in Pakistan? In Pakistan, there is
Uh,
a amazing scope in the Munstack domain. Whatever the AI is developed and the technology has developed, they need a face. Like either it would be the web format or either in the app format. So Mindstack is one of the domain. Either from my perspective, either focusing on Mindstack, you have to explore and move towards the technology like Next.js, exploring some TypeScript concept. And if you go towards that, if eventually you're thinking about to switch your career towards AI side, like going towards Python from TypeScript, very easy. Their context was almost similar. Their concept was almost similar. So that would be good for you as well.
Okay.
And perfect.
I will say
In
let's
2026,
conclude this.
yeah, Qasim.
Let's conclude this session on a very good point that I will gonna give the all of the audience that you have. Uh, let's suppose what I was thinking when I was there in this podcast. Let's have something in mind like after 1 month, we can start and AI based track or data engineering based track online for all of the audience. I will be available on weekends in a very late night. Let's suppose for 3 to 4 hours, and let's execute these things where whatever I have learned to give to give to the other audience so that the gap that attorney is trying to focus on should be less and things will be more good. So because I see like most of the people are thinking like, hey, we want to achieve this thing, we want to achieve this thing, but ultimately they are lacking. So if alhamdulillah Allah have given us the knowledge, so we can spread that knowledge. And if you if the audience is willing and everything and you are satisfied, so we can execute this plan. And
Inshallah,
I'm
inshallah.
willing I'm
Qasim,
willing to volunteer on this part.
perfect. Qasim, one of the another thing I will mention you here. After Eid, we are going to do a proper, a session. It's like a annual event of Internee.pk. So over there, we will talk about everything about from starting from designing to AI, data, all of even cybersecurity. Those are the topics what actually audience are looking for. It was a full day session. We will add some of this events as well, like hackathons and startup competition, which is not even actually happening in Pakistan right now. But we want to promote that particular stuff as well because at the end we need business, right? Like Pakistani job market is very saturated and become saturated day by day as the laws become harsh, as the dollar's perspective become very unnatural. So things become worse day by day, and already AI is taking the job. So that is a point. I think we have to focus on the business side as well. So yeah, I think we can end this session now, and I think we got all of the questions as well. My goal is Monstack plus app development plus cloud. Shahid Sattar, I will. What my personal suggestion is, most of the students are are in a very hurry. What I suggest is if you are very good in the Monstack domain, then just go and check out the market and get some job in the Monstack. Become hands on and get some work experience on Mernstack. Then after that, you can switch and taste some new flavors, like either it's a cloud, either it's a app development, or even you can go ahead with the AI or DevOps side as well. So yeah, focusing on multiple things is more like into a distraction, like flavoring 20% AI, flavoring 20% web development and app development, and then DevOps is like हम कहते हैं ना कि
Jack of all, master of none.
हाँ हाँ exactly. So yeah, I think Qasim, we can end this session now because it was a very amazing session. We can starting with the simple 4 words data, and we can exploring startup, AI, machine learning, LLM models, even the finance and job market side as well. And again, thank you for your time as well. We will definitely starting some new adventures with you. We want to create a pool of those people who are actually in the market because Pakistani audience, what I personally felt like Pakistani audience has a spirit, but they need a roadmap, a good roadmap to mentor by hands-on people because most of the time they got robbed as well because in you see in the market most of the people are creating the courses and selling the courses like get the jobs in 2 months and courses they have paid like let's say 5 to 10,000 rupees. At the end they got nothing, so they think like, okay, like I'm not the guy who is actually for software engineering domain. So that is one point where most of the audience got uh, left their mindset. Okay, I'm not a guy who can actually work in the software engineering domain. So yeah, we have to target those people as well, जिसे हम कहते हैं वो लोग जो ऑलरेडी धक्का खा चुके हैं, हम उन्हें मतलब एक अच्छे राग की तरह उन्हें लेकर आना है. So yeah,
Yes.
Qasim, inshallah we will join again for again we will start something more amazing stuff. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much
Okay.
for the audience as well.
Can you do one thing?
Yeah,
Just remove this comment part from the screen and
yeah, yeah,
turn on the title. I will take a screenshot. I need to post it out. So that's why I was thinking about. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So okay.
Perfect, perfect.
Uh, I will say cheese. Then I will start take a screenshot. Okay. Perfect. I have taken a
Perfect,
screenshot
perfect.
and things are good. Thanks. Okay.
Got done. So thank you so much, Qasim. We will inshallah join soon. Definitely, we met multiple eventually every week, almost in our Salani's meeting. So yeah, there is a one another question just came out. I think that would be the most interesting one. In 5 years, will quantum AI will be the standalone industry, or will be the simply become the hidden backend feature of a standard of cloud computing?
Quantum computing is like where you are processing millions of records or million of processing in a very a single second, like one second per second. So that's where the industry is going. Up till now, they have developed few of the quantum computers as well, but they are not like very. I would say they are near, but they are not very near as well. So maybe in 1 year or 2 years, you will see like hey, the company dynamics is changed from AI or agentic to quantum AI. So these kind of things
Agentic
can
concept.
happen. Yeah, these kind of things can happen because the pace that industry have taken after COVID is like too much. They are going on like 150 of speed of 150 right now. So you can say these things, and definitely these cloud providers will gonna introduce quantum services as well on their clouds. Still, we have some quantum computing services available. You can go and search it out, like hey, what quantum computing AWS is providing. They are providing still the services, but they are not very much used at the moment. So whenever the right time is, things will gonna be used. So yeah, that's what my answer is.
That's perfect. Perfect. Okay, I think guys we can end this session. And if you have any question, we will drop the Qasim's LinkedIn profile in the comment section. You can just contact with him directly from their profile and get some more insights and guidelines, because he's a guy who is not saying you no, because he's a very good mentor at Salani Mass IT Training, the one organization who is actually focusing on youth side in the field of IT. He was leading the data side, so he was actually lots of instructors and mentors under him, who is basically teaching in Salani. So he's one of the guy who me specifically very admired. So yeah, Qasim, thank you so much again. We will end this session now. Thank you so
Okay.
much, audience. Allah
Okay.
Hafiz.
Thank you. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.